like I said, this isn't for anybody, or for everybody. I mean, it might not be for anybody either. But yeah, if you're into this and want to learn more about it, here's some things that maybe can help you get started. But
welcome to Sunny Side Up Podcast. I'm your host, David. Today I have with me
Brent. I'm back.
We're doing a little bit different of a studio today. This is the outdoor version. Enjoying the birds, sunshine, lake life.
Lack thereof sunshine.
Well,
honestly, I need sunglasses though. I'm kind of squinting a little bit.
Yeah. We'll become the professional podcasters with the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Today minimalism is on the menu, and this is something that I learned from Brent. I think he is becoming the master of minimalism.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so sorry. I just wanted to talk a few things about minimalism and just kind of how it, we always, obviously the goal of this channel is to, share a positive message, and growing up this method, if you want to call it that, I think positively affected my life and just helped me gain some, I don't know if direction is the right word, but just found the importance of things, and I guess, it kind of helped to guide me. But a little bit of a backstory and kind of how I got into it, and I guess this kind of shares like my version of it, if you will. I was like about 13, I think, and I just, for some reason, wanted to get into like eBay, because at the time that was like growing a little bit, and buying things off eBay was cool, so I wanted to sell things, and I got into that, and really became addicted to getting rid of things really quickly. Over time, that just stuck with me, and I always just tried to get rid of excess things and made sure that the things in my life had purpose. So that's kind of my view on minimalism. People think of like interior decorating styles where they just, have a couch and then a coffee table and a TV on the ground. That could be a form of minimalism. To me, it's a little bit different. It's just about having purpose in your things. And that can be that's, I guess, everything in my life. With relationships, materials, my thoughts in my own head, don't overthink the small things. It's just getting rid of the excess. So let's start diving into some questions here. All right. So, first question is, what is your perspective on minimalism, and how would you like to use it in your life if you don't already?
Yeah, so I would first preface this by saying that I need to improve on my minimalism, because I have too much stuff that I don't use that I can sell or donate. But for me, minimalism is not just your decorating style in your home, but it's how you do everything in your life. And it can be decorating in your home, but it can also be your buying habits. It can be the amount of people that you have in your life. It can be how you do your job, how you cook your meals, anything. And it's not just one thing. And so I think as soon as you can try to incorporate more minimalism into your life in all those realms, I think that you will notice a reduction in your stress level, because I don't know of any minimalist that doesn't like being a minimalist. Like, I've never heard anyone say that before. And I think and again, I have talked about this so many times, but you cannot overlook the small things and the obvious things. And I think if I've never heard somebody say, I hate being a minimalist, I'm so stressed out because of how little clutter I have. Nobody says that.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Yeah.
That's a stupid thing to say. So if that's an obvious choice, it seems obvious to me that I should strive to do it. Doesn't mean I'm going to be perfect, but I should try. And I just think if you can incorporate as many types of minimalism into your life as you can, why wouldn't you do that? Because at the end of the day, coming home to a home that it's clean, everything, or a place for everything and everything in its place, why would you not want that? And who wants to come home to a hoarder house where there's stuff everywhere, bugs crawling? Like, no.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't. I know you wouldn't either.
So I got two things to piggyback off of that. First is that this doesn't really have to be for everybody. There's a thing called like maximalist. This is just like a tool you can use if you're like curious about minimalism, you know, and you think this can positively affect your life. Then, you know, this is just my personal perspective on it. So if you can use it to help you in your life, perfect. If not, you know, that's cool too. I just wanted to make sure I stress that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Now I forgot the other thing I was going to say. Oh yeah. So you're, you know, going back to speaking about like going home and just having everything having its place. But I think like your home environment says so much about your life that you really don't expect it to. Like I've noticed this as I've just grown older, and by going in a person's home, you can tell a ton about the person and just, you know, the way they keep things, the way they decorate, what they decorate with, how big their home is, you know, so many things. So I like that.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. I mean, that we talked before about buying a container and converting it into a home to live in. And I can 100% see you doing that.
Yeah.
100%. I don't care how much money you have, and I hope you have a lot. But a container home in the woods that is, what probably 100 some square feet, that's all you need. And
yeah.
I think it goes for saying, too, that on average, I would say if you have a huge house and you have all these cars, you've got stuff galore, everywhere you look is your stuff. I don't know how you could look at that and say, this person, after buying this 13th car, is going to be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
Like it, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd like to have, there's a couple cars on my bucket list that I want, but when you look at that kind of lifestyle, and I think a lot of these people would fully admit it, it's like, yeah, this Bugatti isn't enough.
Yeah.
I have a red one, I want a black one. Like, I mean, you just kind of fall into this trap, like the snowball rolling downhill mentality of, once you start going, where does that end? And I know in the gun hobby, you're not going to just buy one collector gun.
Right.
No, you buy that and then, oh, I saw a deal on another one, I want to buy that one too. So it's like, I think when you can just learn to appreciate what you have instead of what you want, I think your life is going to be better overall.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Exactly. But yeah, just appreciating, and then, you know, the things that you do have that, you know, all serve a purpose for you. It's much easier to appreciate those things because you look at something, everything you own, you're like, yep, this serves this purpose for me. And that, like I said, for me, it's not having as little as possible in my house. You know, I'm and you are really into plants, so I like having a bunch of plants. But those serve a purpose for me. You know, because I get to take care of them and watch them grow and sell them or grow vegetables or, you know, whatever it is. So that's serving a purpose for me. I always just joke about, like, you know, going into Home Goods or just, you know, any store like that and buying a live, laugh, love sign or something. Like, that's just like, to me, that serves no purpose. And for you, it might. So, you know, that's why they make those and for you guys. But it's really just being honest with yourself too. I think that's really important. I hear so many people like, oh, I need to get rid of a bunch of clothes. You know, everybody says that, I need to get rid of clothes. But you know, they're not going to go home and do it or actually, you know, or follow through with it. Yep. Nobody does. They're always like, oh, why is so much stuff in my closet? And I see it all the time. And it's just because, I don't know, this maybe just finding a hard place to start or, you know, whatever it is. But when I started this thing, and something that maybe can help ease your mind, is like, once I got rid of things, everyone's like, oh, aren't you going to miss that? Or, once it's gone, it's gone. And it's like, once it's gone, you really don't notice it. Like my girlfriend, we went through some of her clothes and she got rid of them. Yeah, and then that was a few months ago. Then recently I asked her, I'm like, the first time, do you even know what clothes you got rid of? And she's like, no. And I'm just like, that's the perfect example. And
There you go.
That's what happens with everybody. I tell them, I'm like, okay, sorry about that. You have you were talking about how you need to go in your room and just,
Yep.
get rid of things. But I'm sure when you get rid of them 6 months down the road, you'll be like,
what did I get rid of again?
Yeah, you'll have no clue.
Yeah. You said a couple of things that I was writing down because I have a terrible memory and I can't remember the things I want to talk about.
Yep. So do I.
I'm a big fan of survival shows, and one of the shows that I was watching is Dual Survival. It's two guys that survive together, and there was an episode where Dave, I believe it was Dave, I think so. I think so. They were in the wilderness and they had a car, so like they started the episode as if their car broke down and they needed to get out, and so they were just going through the car, scavenging, what can I use from this car that's going to help me survive? And so one thing that Dave said about the car battery that stuck with me is, no, it was Joe. That's what it was. He said, if this item can't serve me 3 or more purposes, I don't want it. And especially for survival, you're carrying everything that you have. It's not like you have a wagon to pull around your crap with. Like everything that you have, you're not going to waste weight that you're carrying on something that is not useful. So he said, this battery, one of the three things, that you can signal for rescue with a horn, a light, and it can start a fire. So I thought you can apply that concept to a lot of other things. When you go to the store, you think, like, you should be really analyzing what you're buying. If it's groceries, that's one thing because you need to eat, but if you're buying anything else, you think, this item that I want to purchase, what is the purpose of me having it? And can it serve more than one purpose? Because obviously it's advantageous. But I think it's important to think about these things before you buy them so that you don't just accumulate junk. Like, well, I can maybe use this for when I go hiking, but that's about it. Otherwise, it's just kind of sit in my closet and take up space. And then you just get in that mindset. And then before you know it, your closet's full of whatever you bought. You don't even realize it. Just the buying habits that you have before you buy something. And of course, this comes with self-discipline of not just clicking the button on Amazon to buy now and forgetting about it, but make a conscious effort to not just buy on impulse and think, why am I buying this?
Yeah, I want to piggyback off that again. And I've been learning this and I have a hard time understanding it still, but and I thought about this yesterday and today in preparation for this, but just about like investing in your environment. Like if there's something in your life that you can buy to, improve your process throughout the day, do something faster for you, make your life more efficient, benefit you in some way, like go out and spend the money on it. So I'd rather, invest in your environment and the things you use. If you're like, if you work from home and you have a really bad computer, it's like, I'm sure spending the $300 to get a better computer, it's probably going to allow you to do more at work. It's going to have its positive effects too. So I think, with the money you could make from selling your things, or gosh, I keep hitting that. But you can use that to buy things that you're maybe too scared to buy or you just don't have the money for, that'll actually help you. And I think those things do exist too, and it's important to acknowledge that side as well.
Yeah, and for you listening, I challenge you to look around. If you're in your bedroom, look around your bedroom and find 10 things that you can sell today. Just 10 things. And
Sell, or can you donate too?
Sell, donate, just get rid of in whatever sense. But I guarantee you can do it, because I know when I go home, I know what I'm doing. I'm looking through my room and saying, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. And like you were saying before, some people don't know, like, oh my God, I have so much stuff, I don't know where to start. If 10 things is too many, find one. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Like, this is, like I said, this is like a lifestyle method that you use throughout your whole life. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to clear out things one time and that's it.
And
like,
then just go back to your old self.
Yeah, so like, I go through my things all the time. Like, a few times a year, I'll go through my clothes and be like, okay, are these clothes serving me a purpose? Have I not worn anything? Do I need clothes for something else? Like, maybe I only have like 2 shorts and I need some shorts. Like, okay, I'm going to buy some shorts because that's going to save me from doing laundry for more, there's a purpose to that still. So I reevaluate my clothes and say, okay, this is where I don't need these, I need these. And I do that with everything. You go through your room and say, hey, this would make my room a lot better for work or for relaxing or whatever. And, reevaluate each thing, and just in baby steps, go out to your garage, just do that, or your car, just clean out that, get that figured out.
Yeah. I think a mentality that helps me, at least it helps me when I do it, is if I'm, say, moving into a new home and I say, all right, I gotta fill this home with stuff. I would plan as if I had 1,000 square foot home, I would plan as if I'm filling a 900 square foot home. So if I do go over, it's not crowding my house. And I think that's a good way to think about how much stuff you have and how much you need. Because just me personally, I would rather have maybe some empty wall space in my home than, where do I put this couch? I don't know, I already have one. Where does this go?
Yeah, and I think that, like we said earlier, it just goes back to finding like the purpose in things. And maybe, so like, let's say you enjoy reading. Well, maybe your books mean a lot to you and that's your biggest hobby. Well, then you keep those, but maybe you collected another hobby 20 years ago that you don't do anything with anymore. And you're like, well, I would save so much room and maybe I can buy more books. So I just keep going back to it, but it's a whole lifestyle, and
it's just a lifestyle
method, and it's not, like I said, go out and clear all your things. That's not the meaning, to me at least, is, like I said, to have purpose in your things, not necessarily just walking into a living room with a couch and a TV on the floor,
which is just fine for me. But not for everybody. But you mentioned lifestyle.
It's just a lifestyle,
and I think it's important to think about your money too, which, minimalism in the end is going to save you money over the course of your life. And I know for me, I am really stingy, and I have a really hard time just spending money in general.
So
some people like to give gifts, and that's great. I like to give too, but when it comes to spending money for my own stuff, I don't like spending money. So I think it does help if you can say set aside and just portion out your money, like from each paycheck, your annual salary. So, for example, this is something I was looking up online. 50% of your income, like your net income after taxes, needs. So housing, transportation, groceries, the essentials for living. 30% should be more of your wants, and this can vary depending on your personality, but eating out, entertainment, hobbies. And then 20%, 15 to 20% on retirement. So savings and retirement funds like 401k and Roth IRA and that kind of stuff. And like I said in other podcasts, you have to have a system, something that my dad taught me. So I think, and being a minimalist is all about organizing your life. So I think if you can just write down, all right, this is how much I'm going to spend on XYZ, that's going to help you tremendously. So you're not overspending and under saving and just allocating your money where it needs to go instead of just, oh, I'll spend money on this and then that gets out of hand real fast.
Yeah, going back to what you said, like buying things. I guess I just thought of this, but I guess I really do it all the time. I will go to like a store to pick up like, we're just out shopping or whatever, and I pick up like a shirt, and then I carry it around for a little bit. I'm like, is this serving a purpose in my closet? No. Like, it's cool, but I want to put it back.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just like little things over time. It's probably saved me thousands, but it's just like, it's little things. It's like I said, guys, it's not like a huge change, or you're going to sell $10,000. It's just little things that I've done over, 10 plus years that I think have really shaped, what I have. But I just wanted to throw that in there really quick.
Like when if you are to track your spending, track what products you're bringing in, what you're selling or donating, I don't think anybody would start tracking and think this is exactly what I thought it was going to be. Like I think everybody would say, oh, I guess I did buy that shirt, or I guess I did buy that computer or whatever. I think there's no way that you can memorize everything better than a computer can.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to like the productivity episode that we did, is if you write it down and have a system, that will always be better than just going off of your memory.
Mm-hmm. And
of course, it just takes the initiative to say, yeah, I'm going to sit down and with a pen and a piece of paper on your computer, list out everything I'm doing. Of course, you just have to do it. It's never going to be a bad idea. And again, don't overlook the small things. Do the obvious things. Write it down. I mean, this is something they have to take an initiative on, but it's never going to do you wrong by incorporating a system into your life.
So I want to say this. I wrote down adapting and growing. So obviously the world is constantly changing. You and your period, your needs in life are constantly changing. Your wants are changing. Everything's changing. So people know me to buy and sell things a lot. And it's not because I'm disappointed or don't like what I had, or that there's anything wrong with them. Like all the vehicles that I've had, I've loved them and they were great. But for that time, they served the purpose. Like the truck we have now. Is it my most favorite vehicle ever? No. But for my situation right now, it serves the perfect purpose. So as you grow and change, going back to the books thing, yeah, you may get tired of books and go on to something else, but it's just, okay, now letting those books go, getting into your new thing, or else, they're going to sit in your basement for 30 years, lose value because they're all eaten up by bugs, and it took up your whole basement, for your whole life, when you could have just got rid of them and had this huge, nice basement and all this extra cash from selling them. But yeah, don't be afraid to adapt and grow in your belongings. I have I think easier time with letting things go, because I always say it's just a car. Like it's just a material thing. The things that matter to me most are like my memories with people with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it can be hard letting things go. But at the end of the day, something you can't take with you, and it's not there forever, and let it give you the joy it did in that time. But yeah, sometimes you gotta say goodbye, and they're not always easy.
You talk about memories. I will never forget. So we're at Zuki Lake right now, which is in Pinckney, Michigan. And last year, he and I went on paddle boards, and there's like a shallow spot in the lake over there, and we were looking for treasures. Like, it was probably knee deep. We were just looking around. And are these treasures worth anything? No. It was rusty tin cans, pieces of wood, an alligator head toy.
Plastic.
Like, it's just, none of these things have any value. But that was a simple pleasure that I will never forget. And, like the song, Living the Dream by Drake White, he just talks about, yeah, it's a great song. Like, they just talk about not having a whole lot of stuff, but you're still happy. I mean, the best memories of my life were ones that I didn't need a whole lot of money to do them.
Mm-hmm.
It was just fun things, like spontaneous things. For me, I love being out in nature, so going for a hike up north, I have a couple special spots that I showed you one, where all you need to do that activity is a pair of working legs. Like, that's going to be far better than, I mean, I would enjoy being on a boat too, but like there's something to be said for just the time alone. I like to be in the woods, but if you like to be in your home or reading a book or whatever you like to do, just taking time and with the minimalist mindset, just meditating. Because for me, I meditate by walking. I don't like to sit still, because I mentioned before I'm very fidgety, but I like to take time by myself, and it's important. I mean, I am trying to make a lot of money. I'm very busy. Like, I have a lot of things going on, but you can never forget to take that time for yourself to just, how would I describe it? Not a reset, but just to kind of calm your mind, I guess I would say it. Is that a lot of people have stressful lives, and stress is something that you quantify in your own head. But again, I mean, I don't think anyone would ever say, boy, going into that walk in the woods, that was really stressing me out. Like, like, nobody says that, so I think the more you can do that, if you have time, the happier you're going to be in your life, because you're just it's kind of like giving yourself a treat, like a dog, like your treat is going out, no cell phones or anything, just going for a walk.
So I kind of want to go over, I like what you said, by the way. But you also got to produce. You can't do that 24/7.
Yeah.
You got to be a producer, which you are, but...
Mr. Producer.
So I want to go over to some, like, things you can do at home. Like I said, this isn't for anybody, or for everybody. I mean, it might not be for anybody either. But yeah, if you're into this and want to learn more about it, here's some things that maybe can help you get started. But like I said, I just want to give them some things they can do or practice, including you and me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like what you said, going to your home and finding 10 things to sell or donate. That's a good one.
Yeah.
One thing that I always tell people if they want to get started is going through your closet. One of like the things I've always said is like, go through your closet. And this is, I'm going to tell you to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But
go through your closet, one section at a time, just your shirt, shorts, pants, whatever. And you're going to create 3 piles. It's your shirts that you're for sure keeping. You're like, yep, I wear this every day. Like, every week it's being worn. You're going to get the ones you're like, wow, even though I had this shirt, this thing's going in the donation pile. And then there's the shirts that are like, okay, wear this sometimes, not sure. Keep it in the middle. You're going to go through all your clothes, have these 3 piles, and like I said, you got to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You keep the maybe pile, and you keep the good pile, you donate or sell the rest. Then you move on to your next task, but then in 6 months, you're going to go to your clothes again, and you're going to look at the clothes that were in your maybe section, and you're going to say, hey,
you whittle that down.
Did I wear some of these? Yep, a lot more than I thought. And you moved them, you may move them from the maybe because you got rid of 10 other shirts, and now you actually need this shirt to wear.
Mm-hmm.
So you may move that to your keep pile, but then you may see, have some where you're like, yeah, I didn't wear this. So that'd be my first challenge, is just to go through your closet and be honest with yourself, in addition to doing the 10 things, which could be in your clothes. Another thing for me too is social media, and this is something I've practiced over years. This isn't something I've done in a short time, but over the years I've slowly been just dwindling down my social media. Over time I added TikTok, but that's just because I watch funny videos on there. But yeah, I just dwindled down my social media, unfollow people, just, delete some of the platforms. Less noise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time. I don't want to get sucked in to listening to these things that I really don't care about, so I just delete them to prevent me from
Wasting time.
going down a rabbit hole on accident. Because things are addicting to go, TikTok's addicting. If you go down a rabbit hole. So just, trying to eliminate that from your life for me, has really helped. So yeah, maybe those 3 things, unless you want to add anything else.
Yeah. So when you were talking about that, it made me think, in addition to looking around your room and finding 10 things that you can get rid of, look around your room and everything that you have and just think, does that item have a place, a physical spot to go? Like I mentioned earlier, a place for everything and everything in its place. If you look at something, you think that's just sitting on the floor, I don't know where to put that. Well, that obviously means you have a surplus of stuff. And so either get rid of that item or find something else to get rid of that you can put that place or that item in its place, which is another exercise that you can do to minimize your life.
I want you to follow up, and I want you to tell me what you got rid of after you do this.
Okay.
And like I said, it's not something you have to just go in and clear everything out. If you have more than 10 things, great. I would honestly try to keep it smaller at first.
Welcome back.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're doing it right now?
Yeah.
Restart.
Alright. Welcome back.
Alright. Man. 2 lost. We got 2 lost. We don't have the memory for this. But yeah, I want you to just tell me what you got rid of, or what social media you got rid of, or whatever you do. Because I want to hear feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I like hearing stories of other people and how it affected them.
Yep.
Like that's what's the coolest thing to me, is like, I hope people sell things and they're like, man, that was awesome. I want to keep doing it. I'm just like, yeah, let me know how I can help, just because it's so fun. Even I still sell things on like eBay for like, I probably make like $2 profit, But
it's fun.
It's just fun, and it keeps you in the habit more than anything. It's not like, oh, I'm making $10 on this. It's not really like that's making or breaking it for me. It's just like it's keeping me
Keeping you in check.
In that habit of, okay, I don't need this thing anymore. I can make a few bucks on it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, when I go home, I already know a couple things I'm going to get rid of. My closet is stuffed with stuff.
Are you going to sell them or donate them?
I try to. I mean, if I can't sell, I'll donate. But I have this old speaker system. I bought a Bluetooth Bose speaker, so I don't need the bass speaker and the satellite. I don't need those anymore. So that's going to be one that I'll post. An old camera that I don't need. Clothes. I know I have clothes that don't fit me. So just now is a great time to get rid of them. Yeah, I'm going to get a box. I'm going to fill it with junk and pitch it.
And then in 6 months, you're going to do it all over again.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to go through, and everything in the maybe pile will probably get thrown away. And I think that's another thing too, is, there goes the car. I think there's a 2 stages to getting rid of something, or if somebody dies, or losing something or somebody in any way. And that's, you think, yeah, I'm probably, I'm gonna die one day. But then when the day comes that I know I'm gonna die, that's another level of that realization.
Yeah. There's so many noises.
What is that? Is that a plane?
Hey, there's a guy with a plane on the other lake. I think he's probably trying to take off.
It's really
on
loud.
the lake. It is really loud. There's a lot of noises. The wind, the cars, the trains, planes.
Automobiles.
Man.
Anyway,
God.
the struggles of doing a podcast outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I have stuff. Oh yeah. So I was talking about different levels of acceptance, and this is kind of more of a morbid topic, but it plays into minimalism. Is you think, okay, I have all this stuff, I should just get rid of it. But then when you actually say, okay, get rid of this, and you actually put the things in the box, and then you look, okay, I am getting rid of this. Like you're seeing the items that you're getting rid of. That's a different level than just saying I have to get rid of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think, yeah, you have to initiate the process, but then you have to realize these 10 items are going in the garbage.
They don't serve you a purpose. It's just, you have to, it's as simple as that. Say, I like this shirt. Do you ever wear it? No. So what is it doing? It's nice for you to look at for 0.2 seconds in your closet, once a year.
And then you put on something else.
Yeah. It's just like, and it's just those little things everywhere in your life. And then once you get rid of them and like, you're going to narrow these things down, you're going to go into your room or your, like I said, your home environment and be like, wow, everything you look at is used and has a purpose, or is doing something that's benefiting you. You're not going in there and being like, you go into people's basements and they got stuff everywhere. It's like,
what the heck, man?
They don't know what they have. You don't know what they have. Nobody knows what they have.
Sometimes people confuse what they think they know with what they know they know. Who knows? Do you know?
Yeah. I think that it's just a mind clutter more than anything else.
This has probably got to be the worst production episode I've ever done.
I don't know. It might get the most views.
There's 3 people on paddle boards, dogs barking, planes flying overhead, trains.
See, look how much noise there is already. That this world produces by itself.
Actually, all this noise is a good example.
That's what I'm saying.
Every problem, what is the expression? Every problem can be a opportunity to learn. I'm learning that I shouldn't do this outside anymore.
But it's, at least you know now.
Yeah. I should minimalize my studio setup.
It's going to have a nice desk, no cords
Nope.
showing anywhere.
Yeah.
Simple, click a few buttons, boom. Producing.
My boy Brent behind doing the technos.
But no, that's a good example too. Like I said, you should invest in your environment, right? I don't know, this isn't really a job, but it's a hobby. You're making it easier, faster, better for yourself. So like I said, this is a thing that you can apply anywhere. If you need a kitchen utensils, that's going to make cooking something 20 minutes faster. Well, if you cook that a few times a week, how much time will that save you? Like, to me, that may be worth it.
100%.
So I feel like I brought that up a million times this episode, but I just trying to drive that point in.
Yeah. I think the thought that I'm going to close with is minimalism is a obvious choice. I don't know of anyone that can go wrong with minimalism. And I think you just look at the obvious pros of being a minimalist. Less clutter, less stress. How can you go wrong with that? So, I think we'll wrap it up there. I want to thank you for coming on again. Always
it was
fun.
good. Hopefully it turns out well.
Hopefully you don't hear just the whole time and trains going by, whatnot. But I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Jeez, that screeched you so much. That was cool.